Alright guys, welcome back to the shop, and today we're working on the right hand rear brakes. And I thought I'd go ahead and record getting this wheel off and the drum off because I had a hard time on the other one to get either one of them off, especially the wheel. So we got two different size lug nuts, and I know y'all can't see from y'all's angle, but I don't really have room to show you from the front here. One size is 3/4. The other size is a little bit less than 3/4. It don't have the aluminum cover on it, so I got to go grab 11/16 or I don't know if it's 18 millimeter or what, but I'm going to have to. I have one right here. So got an 18 millimeter, and that fits pretty tight. So we're gonna see if we can yank his wheel off here. So there's the 18 millimeter one. It's just missing the cover on it. That's what makes it a little bit smaller, and the rest are all 3/4. I'm probably gonna have to leave them on the daggum stud where I can get them out of my socket. Damn, somebody jammed on there. Yeah, I'm going to go find something to knock this thing out with. I think I had to do that with quite a few of them on that other one. Alright, so, man, if we have to do that every one of them, it might take us all evening to get these things off. I hate these lug nuts, boy. They just jam in there. Hate aluminum shrouded lug nuts. So what I'm doing is, you can see the lug nut in there. I'm just going to take this is a 1/2 inch drive socket, and I'm just taking a 1/4 inch drive extension and setting it down inside this socket like this. And then I'll take that, knock that dang thing out, and we'll continue on. And you wouldn't think, I mean, this ain't the rust band. It should not be that hard to get these things out. Now, this one come out no problem. All 6 of them. Now, the daggum wheel, just like that other one, don't want to come off. I'll probably use damn puller to get this off too. Alright, so these slots right here, I'll shut this air thing up, is where we're going to hook into, and we're going to stick something here to help us with this. I've got to figure out how I'm going to sit down here and do this because I can't bend over like that for long. So I'll sit over here in the spider webs. Alright. So I need to get this in here backed out. And we'll hook here and here and here. And now we got to tighten it up a little bit. This is really not the ideal way of doing this. One thing, I ain't got no room there, but I didn't really want to pull this thing out and back it around either. Or pull it back, get it out and then turn around in it. Once we get it tied, it should stay for us. Just getting it tied. Alright, so I think that's where it needs to be. Now, this is a dangerous son of a gun right here. But it works. It does what it's supposed to do. And it don't really damage the wheel, thankfully. But there's a lot of rust built up around this rim right here that you got to get through. And of course you could probably put a little heat on it, help it out, but this seemed to work pretty good on the other one, so it works pretty good on this one too. I can tell you, these drums do not want to come off. At least that one did, the other one didn't. And the best way I found to loosen drums is just knock the hell out of them right in between the studs. Still don't want to go. Then we'll start prying a little bit, testing the waters. Now there's no way, and I know you're thinking, hey, why don't you back off on the parking brake? But there's no way to get to the parking brake on this thing. For some reason or other, the back plate does not have a slot cut to access the parking brake thing. So, and the drum don't either. So there's two ways of getting this drum off. One, we can heat this sun gun up, heat the drum up, get it to expand and pull it off. Or two, we can just keep working at it and until we finally beat it off, or we break it. Either way, I'm going to replace it, so if we break it, we broke it. I'm not worried about it. Alright, so I got a little PB blaster. Just spray around the edge. That'll help a little bit. It may not give us all we need, but it'll help. And then, of course, we can kind of clean up around the edge a little bit. Don't think this will help too much, but it might. You never know. I've seen some pretty stubborn drums, but you know, living down here in the South, we don't usually have trouble with drums and wheels rusting on. That's my second wheel I've ever had to pull off like that, and the first one was on the other side. So normally the wheels come off easy, and the drums, usually when you run into a problem with drums, because the brake pad is too tight or it's rubbed a groove into the drum that's holding it on. I've run into that issue, but Never just plain rust. And it feels like you can move the whole brake shoes and all. And I believe we might have worked it out. Almost. It's definitely coming, but I think the brake shoes are just too damn tight. And like I said, there's no way to adjust them. I don't know why I never seen a back plate that didn't have a way of adjusting brake shoes. Work them off a little bit at a time. Get the tire tool over to it. You can see that the center is off. So now we just got to work it off the damn shoes without bending the back plate. It's coming. And there should be. Lots of junk in there. And the pads, the shoes wasn't bad. But I'm going to go ahead and replace all the hardware. And the wheel cylinder. And pretty much all the hardware except for the adjuster. And of course the shoes and the drum. Look at all the junk in this drum right here. Lots of junk. We'll get her cleaned up and stripped down. I'm not going to film all this because it will take literally, it's probably going to take me an hour and a half to swap this out. But when you're changing out shoes, my best advice is to take pictures if you need to, and take your time. Keep up with all your parts, especially if you're changing out hardware, because it don't come with every little thing you need. There's some springs in here that don't come with. I think it's on that one of these adjusting things down here. This spring right here. I don't know if y'all can see that little spring there. It don't come in that kit. So anyway, I'll get this off, get it cleaned up. I'll show you what it looks like before we slide the drum back on it. Now guys, got her all stripped down and cleaned up best I could with a wire brush, some brake cleaner. I'm kind of worried this wheel seal is leaking right here. There's a lot of gunk around it. A good bit of play in that axle. I'm not sure how much play is supposed to be in an axle. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that much. But I did notice we got an issue. The immersive brake cable is boogered up where it goes through the back plate. I don't know if y'all be able to see it. It's kind of dark, but it's kind of kinked right in there. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and replace this brake cable while I got everything off. On the other side, I took this holder off and cleaned it. I wasn't going to do it on this side because it is just a genuine pain in the butt to get this thing here back in. This spring is very, very tight, but since I'm going to end up replacing this cable anyway, I'll probably end up just cutting this cable and taking it out, putting a new one in, and I'll hook this up before I hook it up on the truck there. And I believe this cable just, you can see it's messed up right over there too. If I can zoom in on it, you can see right in there it's kind of boogered up, but it just bolts into that bracket there. And so not that big a deal to change out, and I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that before I put the brake shoes back on. But I think right now I'm going to go ahead and change this wheel cylinder out. It's pretty simple. I went ahead and I got the nut broke free just with a wrench. It's 2 3/8 bolts holds this wheel cylinder on the back. Just unbolt it, change it out, and usually it's easier to get the line started back before you tighten this thing back up. Get the line going in and then tighten the wheel cylinder up to the back plate. So like I said, I already got this thing. I know it'll break free, so I'm going to go ahead and loosen up on these 2 3/8 bolts. I guess I need to go find my other one before I get too far along. I know where it's at, I just got to go get it. So let me run and get my other wheel cylinder so we don't lose too much brake fluid. This is AC Delco, part number 191-75563. Got it from Rock Auto. And there you can buy factory OEM parts just about as cheap as the cheaper aftermarket parts from Rock Auto. Not that I'm trying to advertise for them, but I do buy a good many parts, as many parts as I can, because the shipping's a little high on some things, so you have to be careful what you get. You wouldn't want to just buy one thing. And it seemed to me like all the brake parts came from the same warehouse, so I didn't have a bunch of different shipping charges. Alright, so a 3/8. We'll take this off. We're going to lose a little bit of fluid and then stick this up under it. Now this has been coated with, this axle was coated with that lining thing, so I forget the name of it now. So I don't think the brake fluid will hurt the part of it, but it will, if it's been painted over it, it will take the top coat off. They won't kind of work quick when you're swapping these out. She's a bit crusty. A little bit of brake fluid out of it. Go ahead and line it up. That's all there is to it. Now, one thing is I went ahead and cleaned these things here up that goes in here. These do not come with the kit, the hardware kit, so you'll need to clean them up. And also, when you're putting your shoes back on, don't forget them. I forgot them over on the other side when I put that together, and I had everything, all the springs on, and I realized that, hey, I didn't have them in there, so I had to take it all back apart, the springs off the front of it. And that's a little bit aggravating. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for part 2, where we change out the brake cable and we'll put the shoes on and the drum on. And like I said, there's no way to get to the adjusting nut, so what we'll do is we'll adjust it to where the drum will just barely slide on, and that's all you need. And then of course when you back up and put the brakes on, it's self-adjusting after that. So I'm a little bit worried about that. So if anybody's ever had a dealing with an axle that moved that much, I know there's a C-clip in this thing. It may be fine like it is. I mean, it ain't coming out, so maybe I just ain't never noticed it. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you have.